Hey guys, hope you are having a great day so far. We're gonna go pick my daughter up from work today. We had to get some car work done, so we had to take her car in, and so I'm getting to be a chauffeur again. I haven't been able to be a chauffeur for my bigger kids in a while, so it's kind of a nice treat actually to be able to take her and pick her up from work. Uh, I know it seems kind of silly to say that, isn't it? But um, yeah, as our kids get bigger and older and they're gone more often, we got to take all those extra little moments that we can to enjoy spending time with them. So I am thankful to be able to go and be her chauffeur today. Um, so sorry for the bumpiness on the road. Hopefully it won't be too bad. But anyway, I just wanted to pop in and talk for a little while. I thought we'd have a good conversation on my way to pick her up. Um, and I was just thinking about I don't know, this time of year is middle of summer, kind of getting toward the end of summer. I've seen tons of people out looking and buying all of their children's school stuff. And as a homeschool mom, we don't get into that as much uh, because we just don't have to, we don't have to buy all the lists of things. But I always have tried to make it special for my kiddos still to realize that they're starting a new year. There's something so fun about all the new things that you get when you um, start the new year. And so, we do the new crayons and sometimes backpacks if we need that or something. But since we don't really go to school, we don't have huge use of backpacks. But there's something just fun about that. But I also know at this time of year we start getting some of those videos of parents talking about how glad they are that their children are going to be going back to school and be out of the house. And while they can be a little bit heartbreaking to me, I see the difference that it is for raising your children at home with you all the time and then getting used to kind of not having them with you all the time, and then anticipating that. It goes back to that old Christmas song, you can't wait for school to start again. And I think that's what a lot of parents get into, because the summers kind of are a little bit of a doldrum sometimes. A lot of the things that you would want your children to be a part of or might be able to that they might enjoy or want to participate in, they can be really expensive. Summer camps are not a cheap thing. They're not always an available thing to a lot of families, and so they can be a hard thing to go through summers without any little bright spots. So one of the main things that I found through the years was to offer bright spots in the middle of it. You can't do the big summer camps, and don't worry about those huge expenses, but maybe you can plan a day for the zoo. Maybe you can do different day trips to somewhere. Maybe you can just a lot of museums of art are free or very minimal cost, so you can go do those. It might cost you the money or the gas to get there and pay for lunch for the day or whatever, but those little bright spots that you can put for your children in the middle of an expanse, whether it's summer vacation or Christmas vacation or whatever, if you can do any of those kind of bright spots, it'll help you out a lot and it'll help them out a lot. But I guess mostly what that whole mentality of getting ready to send our kids back to school, the part that I always get a little, I don't know, what is the squeamish, I guess, or just saddened by, is the fact that, oh my goodness, our kids don't stay with us for very long. They really don't. It's such a short period of time that we get to have them. And you can, what is it? The days are long, but the years are short. And there is no bigger truth than that. Having a 22 and a 19-year-old now. And, when I stop and think about it, I think, I can remember those times when my oldest was 1 or 2 and just sitting there, babbling to himself, reading his book. And then he walks in the door and he's all 6'5" of him, and those years just go by so quickly in my mind and my heart. And I think, these last 22 have gone so fast. What is the rest of my life gonna be like? Because Oh, it is so true that as you get older, time does seem to go faster. And so while you're maybe getting excited, maybe getting your kids ready to go back to school, and while you're getting ready for these new times, just remember to savor in all the moments that you have with them right now, even on those boring days. Boredom isn't a bad thing. It's really a good thing, especially for our children, but even more so for us as adults. I think we get so used to constantly having something to scroll or to be a part of that when we have those minutes where we can just really reflect on who we are and whose we are, most importantly, it allows our brains to go into a space that we don't let them have very often. And we can start, maybe it's really uncomfortable for you for the first little bit. If you can make it through the first 5 minutes, you can probably make it through 10. But a lot of people, it's just like when you go to the store or an appointment, not the store necessarily, but yeah, the store too. If you're waiting in line for more than like 2 seconds, almost every single person will have their phone out. And so these are learned behaviors for our children. We're teaching them that you shouldn't be bored. You don't need to be bored. But summer vacation and boredom, like, they have led to some of the absolute best games, absolute best family and friend times that you can think of, when you had to come up with something from what you have around you, when you had to just be what was there. And so yeah, all of this part, I just want to encourage the parents out there, especially you mamas, that it's okay for your children to be bored a little bit, and it's okay to be annoyed with them a little bit when you're together all the time. But just remember that it does go so fast. The time will be gone, and all those times that you wanted to get them out of the house, so you couldn't wait for things to change or something to be different, you'll want it back. You will. You'll want it back. And I don't live my life with regrets. I've never been a person who ascribed to that idea, because you can't live life that way. There's nothing you can do. There are no do-overs in life, right? So no matter how much you might want to change what happened, you can't, because we don't get to go back. And so I'm just encouraging you right now, during this time, during this crazy starting to get back to school season, and I don't know, it seems to get earlier every year that school starts. So we're in the middle of July almost, which seems crazy. It just feels like summer just started. But we're in the middle of July, and I think some schools will start like the first couple weeks of August. So we have less than a month until most schools are back in there. So while you're going through this time and you're still having those days with the doldrums, take them to the library, go do some fun things, take them out for snow cones, all the little investments that you put into your child's life right now. They're investments into your relationship with them, into yourself, so that when you get to look back at your time of being a parent with children around, that you can say, I did okay. I did okay. I might not have done everything well, but I did okay. And I'm thankful that I can do that now. I'm thankful that I was able to take those breathing spots, to take some of those boredom times and make them into really good memories for my children, for our family. It's not always easy. We want to have our space, and sometimes as a mom, you don't get a lot of space. You don't have a lot of breathing room, and so yeah, we can always wish for things to be different, but we want to make the most of what we have right now and today. So I would just encourage you to spend as much time as you can with your kiddos while they're there, because before long they'll have all kinds of other things that they want to do, and all kinds of other people that they want to be around. And if you don't have a lot of money, be creative, find fun things, just hang out with them. And some days it's okay for them to just be bored, and for them to just entertain themselves in some way. Give them some paper and some scissors, give them some glue, and let them hang out and enjoy it. And they might come up with some really cool games. They might come up with some really cool Lego inventions. Our oldest son, he would always do that. He came out with all kinds of things that he built with Legos because of the boredom. And he created this great, fun Lego game that we wish we could figure out all the rules, because we played it a bunch of times together, and then it just kind of got forgotten. But there were just neat moments that I got to watch my older two kiddos play when it seemed like the most boring day ever, and they ended up making great forts or whatever. But I'm just encouraging you, as a fellow mama, to cherish this time, this last few weeks of summer break, and not having a plan for every day, but finding those bright spots out there that you can, those things that you can plan and put out there, so that there are some things to look forward to, but don't have to cost a lot of money, and don't have to be, the big things like Disneyland or Six Flags or any of those kind of amusement parks that can be ridiculously expensive. But just the fun stuff that you will remember. An all-day long game of Monopoly, or the 3-hour long game of life. All of those things will reap benefits for you and for your children, for your family history, and just as a blessing to those around you. So, you guys, I hope you have a great day today. Go out and have some fun, hug and kiss your children, and just know that there's lots of other fellow mamas and daddies out there trying to make the best that we can of all that we've got too. And it doesn't take a lot to be a great family and to spend a lot of good quality time together. So enjoy it. Have a great day. Bye.